Yo, what's going on, everybody? Mario here in Fighting FX, and the fight has started. So we are a little behind. Not behind. It's the first round, 2 minutes and 11 seconds in. And yeah, I wasn't gonna do it. I was gonna cover the rest of the fights, but I decided, fuck it, let's just do this. But Andrew Tate has started the first round against Chase Demoor. Um, let's see. Ooh, and Tate lands a decent little straight there. They are really up close. Andrew Tate has very little to no understanding of the boxing distance. It feels like he's in a very like kickboxing type stance. Um, because it's like he's in a boxing stance, but he's still like somehow even squared himself up like every time he goes into like move. Dude, he's carrying way too much muscle. Look at that chin, bro. Tate's chin is so far up right now, bro. So far up. Hey, he's got a nice jab to the body. I'm not gonna lie about that. He's got a nice jab to the body, though. That's weird, bro. It's so crazy. Is a jab to the body too much of a bitch punch for him? Like his whole brand, isn't that like part of it, or it's like not smart boxing? It's like, all right. So if you were watching the Jake Paul Joshua fight yesterday, then you saw what happens in the sport of boxing and levels. And one of those levels is stamina. And, Andrew Tate, despite the fact that he's in pretty phenomenal shape, he's been in phenomenal shape, he's been a fighter in the past. I highly doubt he is in a position to, stay as active and as fresh through the 6 rounds. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Shout out to everybody watching live. Shout out to everybody on IG, Twitch, Instagram. We are not live on TikTok this time, champ. My bad, but we will be next time. I promise you. I had a rush to do this. All right, that's going to be the first round. I'm not going to lie. Andrew Tate didn't look terrible. I mean, he did look terrible, but like, okay, everybody needs to understand this. I've covered this sport long enough that I'm going to talk about this in the context of which I'm talking about it, right? So if you're watching this and you've watched me a long time and you're like, what are you talking about? Andrew Tate sucks. Just stop. All right. That's not what we're doing here. We're not watching this fight with the kind of magnifying glass that we'd be watching Brian Norman and Haney or something like that, right? We're going to keep it under context, right? I've seen a lot of people have been hating on Jake. And don't get me wrong, the flopping was nonsense. It was bullshit. We showed levels and he showed he's not on that level. That said, though, he stayed away, right? He landed a couple of shots there in the fourth or in the first four, right? We give him context. We give context. And the context is he did good for the level that he's at. What can Andrew Tate do against a guy in Demoor who's 4-1? And this is Andrew Tate making his professional debut or his debut with the Misfits brand. Misfits Mania is what they called it. Andrew Tate is doing this thing where he's like throwing both of his hands at once. Look, it's like this thing where he keeps throwing. Oh, the light's not going to let you see. But look, watch. Oh, well, you're not going to see it. But I'll show you on the replay. But he keeps doing this like double-handed fist punch. It's weird. It's like he's just trying to keep him off. But he's got a very kickboxer. Ooh, a nice right hand from Andrew Tate. Man, bro, I don't know who he worked with, but I swear I could have gotten him, or I mean, not me, but he could have worked with somebody else, bro. He do not look like somebody been working with him or somebody who knows what they're doing. Remember, he's got a kickboxing background, okay? And while that's, great, it's not necessarily beneficial in boxing. The kickboxing stance, the way you close distance, the shots you use to set up other big shots, whether it be with your feet and especially with your hands, they're all very different from boxing. Very, very different. Andrew Tate takes a stab to the body as Demoor comes over the top. Joe, Demoor talks so much shit. This dude Chase talked like he was legit, real deal, Holyfield. And I'm sorry, he looks as lost as anyone. They are in the clinch. Chase Demoor in the black with pink Grant gloves. Tate is wearing black. Is that Tap Out? Is he sponsored by Tap Out in 2025? There's no way, right? There's no way he's sponsored by Tap Out in 2025. If it's not, they stole that logo for sure. All right, now Chase is trying to throw punches while like grappling at the same time. This is very, very low level work. Hey, my love. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm watching the Andrew Tate fight. So yeah. Yeah, Andrew Tate is fighting boxing on Misfits right now. He's fighting a guy named Chase Demoor. Yeah, I know. He said that women aren't allowed to watch this fight. No, I'm just kidding. No, that was a joke. That was my wife. I was just busting her balls. All right, now they're getting a little sloppy. Oh, a big right hand from Andrew Tate. Yo, he landed a nice overhand on Demoor and then slipped as the round closed out. But a nice stutter step. He feinted, then he hit him with the stutter step. And Chase also caught Andrew Tate with a nice right hand followed by a soft left. But Andrew Tate's got his jaw all the way up. There was that shot with the right hand, and it looked like Demoor's shot was the better shot that landed. Yo, shout out to everybody watching live. I appreciate y'all. Please hit the like, please hit the sub, please hit the chat. I'll show y'all the replays when they come up. But nah, champ, that was last night. But I appreciate you though. All right, we got round 3 of 6 is started. And shout out to Andrew Tate, bro. Shout out to both these guys, though. 3-minute rounds are tough. All right. I've had 2 novice fights in my life. And I've sparred a bunch at 2-minute rounds, very little at 3-minute rounds. And I could tell you there's a huge difference, especially if you're not used to boxing. Huge difference. Andrew Tate takes that stab to the body. I really don't like it at all. Oh, and Tate counters with a right hand. See, it's not that Tate has like terrible fundamentals like with his hands. It's just he doesn't know how to move. Like he doesn't. Oh, nice right from Tate. Missed it, but it was, he turned it over really nice. I mean, Demoor, if he had any idea how to close the distance and catch Tate with his chin up, I mean, this fight would be over. But fortunately for Tate, oh, and Demoor lands a nice right hand. Tate stabbing in with that jab, bro, to the body. I'm sorry, that ain't man shit, bro. That ain't manly, bro. You don't stab to the jab. You don't stab the body like that, bro. Come on. This ain't it, bro. For the guy that tries to stress everybody be on point, everybody execute this methodical game plan, bro, I'm seeing some sloppy ass work. Yo, he in here fighting Blueface. Now they're going at it. They're throwing hands. And Demoor has got Tate against the ropes. Yo, ref letting that elbow to the throat slide a little more than I think he should, but whatevs. All right. Blueface and Mario Barrios' love child is in the ring with Andrew Tate right now. His name is Chase Demoor. He's the love child of Blueface and WBC welterweight champion Mario Barrios. Oh, Andrew Tate lined up a right hand over the top of Demoor's left. Bro, that was actually a decent counter. He didn't land it, but that was a decent counter, bro. I ain't going to hate on that. Demoor just got nothing on his punches. Man, credit to Tate. He's either got a really good poker face or, oh, nope, that was a big breath right there. Yeah, and this is a problem when you're as jacked as a dude like Andrew Tate, right? It's not about carrying muscle in the ring, bro. It's about being slick. It's about being lean. It's about being sleek. Oh, and Demoor takes a huge right hand and whiffs as Andrew Tate comes underneath and lands his own right hand as Demoor was coming forward. Now Andrew Tate in the corner as the bell rings. Demoor is not taking advantage of Andrew Tate's inexperience in the squared circle, specifically when he's finding himself on the corner. Um, if I'm Demoor, I am pushing the gas in those moments and even squaring up if I need to. If I'm Tate, I am not reaching to the body anymore. Stop that shit. There's no need for it. You don't look like a fucking alpha male or top G or whatever the fuck you call yourself. You don't look like it's stabbing to the body like that, champ. You got the hands to be able to sit back and let him come to you. If I'm Andrew Tate's corner right now, I'm telling him to look for that counter. He's already landed it a few times, and a couple of the other times where he didn't land it, he was very close, and they were big, big whiffs. The kind of punches that might have put this kid Demoor down. All right. It is round 4 of the scheduled 6 3-minute rounds. Again, shout out to Andrew Tate, bro. I mean, you could hate his politics. You could hate his whole brand. Oh, a nice jab from Demoor. Bro, Demoor need to remember to only throw one punch at a time, bro. He don't throw a combo, dog. He throw them both at the same time. Like, one of them's just behind the other. It's like fucking crazy shit. Oh, Demoor's got a busted up nose, though. Because Top G landed a couple of those overhands, I'm telling you. And it don't matter if you got pop or not. When you throw that overhand and you have the torque, especially with the size discrepancy here, bro, that nose is just ready to pop. Ready to pop. You ain't even got to put a lot on it. Yeah, and Demoor is not doing himself any favors closing the gap like that. Big right hand from Andrew Tate as Demoor threw another double punch for whatever reason, and now he's leaking from the nose. How does Demoor look like he's cut on the outside of the nose? It looked like he had like a weirdo ass like septum piercing that just got ripped out. And now Blueface. Now Blueface's cousin, Redface, is trying to hit Andrew Tate with the inside body shots. No shot. No shot. Who walked out Andrew Tate? Nobody walked out Andrew Tate, champ. He walked out by himself. Why you was expecting 6ix9ine again to come out with him? Who would Tate get to bring him out? I wouldn't even fucking venture to guess, bro. All right. They are in the inside with a minute left. Demoor's nose is leaking. Andrew Tate is now starting to show real signs of being tired. He doesn't have his legs under him as much as he did. He's leaning a little more. He's a little more softer off the breakup. Nice jab from Andrew Tate. You see, that's the thing is Tate's got pretty decent not hand-eye coordination. What is it called? Like when you're able to punch the target, right? Like when you're able to like accuracy type shit. His accuracy is actually really good. It's where he's throwing his punches that don't benefit him. He's throwing them from either way too far out or just too far in, right? And he's got a decent jab and he's got a decent overhand. You know, if he understood what distance to be at to land that punch, honestly, I think he could have put this dude down by now. All right, man, dude, Tate is way too big to keep boxing. Way too big. He got to cut some of that muscle for sure, bro. Yeah, shout out to everybody. I appreciate it. Infighting FX, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, X, IG, and TikTok. We were live last night. Oh, look at this one. Look at this fucking replay right here, bro. Look at that. Look at the Top G, bro. What? Top G's landing overhand right? Stop, bro. Stop. Nobody had that on their bingo card. Quit playing, bro. Quit playing. I'm going to go get my drink. Where's your man, mama? Sounds perfect. All right, what do we got? What do we got? What do we got? 2 minutes and 40 seconds left in the 5th round. Scheduled 6. Referee breaks them up as Tate measures out a shot, but Chase Demoor comes crashing in. You're going to see Chase Demoor crash in more and more. He's clearly tired. It's actually difficult to assess who's more tired, only because Chase Demoor is basically fighting the same fight script he was fighting. Big uppercut from Chase Demoor, and he lands that on Andrew Tate, as Tate is now struggling to get his bearings behind him. That was a big shot, bro. Big shot. And now Demoor runs into a Tate right hand. Yo, this is heating up just a bit. Just a bit. Yo, Demoor keeps trying this uppy like this. Yo, he keep throwing that uppy like a weirdo. Yo, he throws that uppy like, oh, a big right hand from Demoor. Follows up with the left. Andrew Tate got clipped, but not hurt. Not hurt. Yo, Tate is now bleeding from the right temple, from the right eye on the temple side. And Demoor is now having fun. He's got his hands down. He is throwing that uppercut like he has. Oh, and Andrew Tate's down. No. He called it a slip. Ref called it a slip. Oh, and another uppercut landed on Andrew Tate. Andrew Tate is clearly tired. He looks hurt a little bit at least, but he's clearly tired. Legs are giving out. This is a lot of what we're seeing. The same thing we saw with the Jake fight, where he was just dead tired and he was falling down. Now Andrew Tate is being swarmed with punches. The ref's taking a close look. I don't think any of these are hurting. I don't think he has to stop it, but Andrew Tate is not throwing any punches back. The question you're going to ask yourself is Demoor gassing himself out with 30 seconds left. He throws another one of those from the bottom Hail Mary uppercuts. Yo, he is throwing them uppercuts from the underground, bro. That is no cap, no lie. Uppercuts from the underground, bro. Another one. He just threw this uppercut. Yo, he just did this. He just air jerked himself off and hit Tate in the chin. Yo, this kid keeps trying to line up Tate like crazy, bro. I got to get you on these replays, champs. Y'all got to see it on these replays, champs. This is actually crazy round. Yeah, the commentator saying, look at this. Look at that uppercut, bro. That clipped him. It clipped him. Sometimes those are actually worse because you didn't expect it to land where it was going to land. Yo, that was actually a decent, I mean, it wasn't a good uppercut thrown, but it was, I'll say this, it was amazing that he landed. That's like on some that fucking what's it called? The game last night, the OU Alabama. Yeah, it's fucking shite. All right, Yeti. I know it's fucking shite. Ain't nobody saying it's not fucking shite. It's just that it's Andrew Tate, right? We're not watching, Fury or Usyk. You know what I'm saying? Shakur's not fighting. It's Andrew Tate and some dude named Chase Demoor. So we're gonna, call a spade, right? We're not just tuning in to hate. We're gonna assess like if it was real, right? I did Border Wars, right? And I would commentate too. I did commentating for Border Wars. So I've covered a lot of like amateur shit. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, you got to put everything into context. You don't show up to a AA game expecting MLB pitchers. Yo, they are gassed, bro. They are gassed. This is it. This is the 6th round, 6th and final. 2 minutes and 15 seconds left as Blueface cousin Redface lands another long range from the underground uppercuts. Bro, it is embarrassing to get hit with these shots, bro. It is embarrassing to get hit with these shots. Yo, this is like akin to like you guarding somebody and they break your ankles or like they just post up on you or some shit. Like, this is not a good look to get hit from with an uppercut from that long a range, bro. And the same uppercut over and over and over. Like, that's crazy. Yo, Tate, how much money you got, bro? You didn't think to bring in one decent trainer, dog? Like one, a minute 30 left. Oh, and now, yo, Demoor is just playing with them now, bro. He got his second win back. I thought he might have gassed himself in that round where he's trying to clearly take Tate out. He just don't have no pop. What it is the, and listen, if you never heard it, I'm gonna tell you, and you're gonna hear it again and again if you're watching this show. It's the punches that you don't see coming that hurt the most, that do the most damage. And this is the problem with this fight for Tate, is a lot of these punches he's not seen coming. First of all, because some of them are coming from weird ass angles. Oh, a pretty stiff left inside hook from Tate. It was a nice inside work. And then he slips. What the fuck is this fight? Yeah, champ. Yeah, yo, Velda, you ain't lying, champ. You ain't lying. Yo, I'll be honest. Jake Paul looks like Guillermo Rigondeaux compared to these guys, bro. Jake Paul looks like Lomachenko in his prime, bro. Yeah, they're just hugging now. Vilda, it's a hugging contest now, but they're both tired. Might as well kiss when they're at. Yo, hey, you clip it. I'll send it to AI and get that shit done real quick. I get that shit done real quick on AI. Hey, they'll be in the middle of a fucking Diddy freak off by the time AI done with them. That's how close they were hugging. Yo, and Demoor's got his hands raised in victory. Obviously believes that he won. And I'll say this, he probably did. I would say that your cam is lagging so much. Am I? Fuck. Oh, it's because I'm probably streaming all this shit. How do you say? He said 78. It was a 6-round fight, champ. How you get 70? You get 78. Yo, so this is what happened, right? I would say Andrew Tate started out like better than Demoor. He was landing from a better range. He was countering pretty decent. The problem was he was stabbing from far too far out of reach from his opponent. And now they're hugging. Hey, look, now they're hugging and shit. Now they're hugging. That whole thing. This is what I've been telling y'all, bro. This is why you come to Infighting FX, because I don't lie to y'all, bro. I keep it real. All right. I was a publicist in boxing for 5 years, a journalist for 10. All right. And I'm telling you, it's all propaganda, right? It is very rare that you get actual heat between fighters, right? Most of the time, even when you're like, oh, they got real heat, it's not real. It's not real. There's a handful of things that were real. You know what I mean? Like when Eric Morales and Marcos Antonio Barrera fucking went and had a brawl, you know what I mean, at their press conference, that was real heat. You know what I mean? That was real heat. But this ain't real heat. Majority. Majority. Demoor won. Yo, he was a heavyweight champion. Tate got a fight. Yo, they are acting like they just won the Super Bowl. Yo, they acting like they just beat Floyd Mayweather, champ. That's crazy. Yeah, Chase got his hand around a black-eyed cut on the right temple of Andrew Tate. Now they're hugging it out, which I'm a fan of. You know what I'm saying? Like, people could talk shit. I wasn't talking shit that they were hugging it out. Not at all. What the point I was trying to make is that it's always propaganda, right? Don't buy into bullshit in MMA and boxing. Okay. That's why we always go on the quality of the card. What does the card look like? What's the matchup like? That's what's important. All right. Tate's talking.
Congratulations, sir. Do you think we'll be able to see you in here again? Yeah, I'm going to have to go back, watch the fight, make a decision, but Chase deserves this win. I'm really happy for him, genuinely. Do you have a message to all the fans back home that are watching you? It's better to try and lose than not try at all. Thank you very much, Andrew.
What y'all think? This on brand? You think his fans will put up with this?
You showed a lot of grit and determination. You took the fight where you needed to take it. You made it happen. And
I don't care what they say. Like, what does it matter? You suck. I mean, look, I'm gonna be real, right? We're gonna keep it real. Yeah, it was a shit show. Vidal. Is it Vidal? Vidal? Am I close with that? Vidal? Yeah, it was a shit show for sure. And hopefully this will curb the attention and the investments that are going towards this kinds of boxing. It's nothing I appreciate, but as a person that covers the sport, obviously I got to cover what I got to cover, numbers, all that shit, but this is not it. You know what I mean? This is not it. And it feels like it's just like a quick buck, right? I mean, I don't know how much money they even made, really. I don't know how much interest this drew. I don't know how many people, really into watching or whatever, what the gate's like. This wasn't about Andrew Tate winning. This was about him coming out looking good enough that he could get another fight, like a bigger fight, right? But now I don't think he probably done. You think a couple of couple 100,000, maybe 100,000? That's probably accurate. Like when you take into account like upside too, right? Because like we all know, right? Or I mean, not we all know, but for those that don't know, boxing, boxing is never really paid out the way you think it is. Like when you see the number, like, oh, Pacquiao got this much or Mayweather got this much, that's never really how much. I mean, it's always more than that usually. There are upsides, there are figures that are, not hidden, but just the way that contracts work and all that, you never really know what the fighter gets paid, and especially when there's a lot of upside on the back end on a pay-per-view. Yo, this guy was hitting uppercuts from way too fucking far, guys. Way too fucking far. Look at these uppercuts, bro. Look at that uppercut. He was like 5 feet away. Bro, he was 5 feet away when he landed that uppercut. Listen, and again, I'm going to say this. This is 2 days in a row, guys. 2 days in a row where we saw the sloppiest looking, shittiest type fight that you could possibly think of. And it was on the main event of a card that people were really, really promoting. I mean, that Netflix card last night was one of the biggest cards of the year. Like, no cap. This was worse than the Jake fight. What the fuck was this? Matt, you're absolutely right. Machine Gun Matt in the chat, champ. You're absolutely right. it's staged for money, just like the Paul fights. Yo, here's the thing. You have to be wrong, Vidal. You have to be wrong. You know why you have to be wrong? Because this is shit if it's staged. Like, you could do a better job than that if it's staged. Like, let me tell you, if I was gonna go out there with the homeboy or even with somebody that I was like, hey, we're gonna go out there and you know what I mean, we're gonna put on a show. It would be a situation where I would be like, bro, let's go out there and like let's make it look, you know what I mean? Let's make it look good, right? You know what I mean? Like I don't think Silva and Tyron Woodley was set up at all. But if it was set up, I'm sure they would have said at one point, hey, I'm gonna do that fucking horse leg raise and hit him with the fucking uppy. Yo, shout out to Vidal. There's low-level Border Wars fights better than this shit. And that's what I'm saying, bro. Matt, that's what I'm saying. Honestly, your first fight, Matt, for Border Wars. For those that don't know, Machine Gun Matt has fought in Border Wars countless times. He's won fight of the night, and round of the year in several occasions. And yeah, bro, your first fight, Matt, your first fight was better than this one. And again, it's not even about like criticizing Andrew Tate or anybody. Like, anybody that steps in the ring deserves to have respect for at least stepping in the ring, right? But like, damn, bro, how much money you got? You couldn't afford a trainer that could at least show you how to throw a jab, or like where to throw it from, or like what ranges, or like distance, or how to move your feet. Like, it looked like he did zero footwork for this fight to get ready. Shout out to Armando Vargas for putting hands on the dude. Yeah, what was that guy's name? Chase the Great. Yo, he put hands on him for real, for real. What you think of him, Armando Vargas, Matt? I think he's fun, right? Obviously I don't think he's gonna be as serious as his brother, but I think it's almost like a situation where you can't really help but like that whole family, right? They just got a bunch. You know what they are? They're like a way less annoying version, Mexican boxing version of the Balls. Like, remember when Lamar Ball and all them, they had the show? Yo, the Vargas family needs a show. For real, for real. They do. It's probably setting up a trilogy. Rematch will get called, then Tate wins, and then a third will be the biggest fight of the year. Yeah, I think you might have a point if it was a good fight, right? Like, if it was a good fight, I would say, yeah, you're probably right. But yeah, I don't see many people being like, oh, I want to see a second one, let alone a third one. What I think this could have set up would have been a situation where Tate could have actually gotten like a fight with like maybe an MMA dude, or you know what I mean, somebody like that. But this dude Demoor was low level, very, very low level. And it's not that I'm saying Tate, sucks or isn't an athlete or can't fight. Boxing's very different. Boxing's very different. And at age 40, is he right? He's like 40. Yeah, I think it might be way too late. Even if it was fake, they made it horrible. Exactly, bro. That's what I'm saying. Yes, Vidal, you're absolutely right, bro. It is way worse if it was fake, because I am positive I could make 2 10-year-olds look more exciting in a fake fight than what we just saw there right there. They already have a show. Shout out to Andres Lundberg. Who won? Not Andrew Tate, champ. Demoor won with a majority decision. What? Yo, and that one judge had it a draw, right? I just thought of that right now. But you could argue that Tate, some of the first half of the fight, there were probably all swing rounds. But you can make an argument that Tate, if a judge gives Tate every swing round, I can see a draw. Some people are going to come back and be like, oh, that was bullshit. The draw was bullshit. But remember, we don't score the fight in its totality, right? Even though Andrew Tate got fucked up more in the last 3 rounds than Demoor did in the first 3, it don't matter. They score the same without a knockdown, and 10-8s without a knockdown are very rare these days. Marlo fought with too much emotion, which was understandable, but he should have knocked Buddy out. Yeah, bro, I thought he should have knocked him out too, and I thought he had a couple of opportunities where he could have. I don't know. I don't know about Kid. I think that he could be solid, but either way, he's fun, right? Gave a great interview afterwards. Hey, bro, he was with all the homie dolls too in the back. You didn't see the lowrider dolls that used to put the 50 cents in and get them and shit, and they would be like, them dudes. Yo, he had all the homies in the back, bro. That was cool as shit. They look good in the first round, but gassed immediately. Yeah, and that was the thing that we saw with Jake too, Matt. Like a lot of people talk about last night, like if there was like this level of separation within boxing. Sure, there was definitely a level of separation in boxing, but the clearest, most definable level between Jake Paul and AJ, which is to say the most definable level between Jake Paul and every single serious boxer out there, is conditioning. Jake Paul, Andrew Tate, if these guys really wanted to make it in boxing, they would be cutting serious muscle right now because they carry way too much muscle to be able to go into the ring and successfully move around and not get tired. And yo, what the fuck is this? Oh, this is like an overall thing of the fight. They're showing like overall clips of the damn, they had some crazy people fighting. I didn't even see all these fights either. Oh, here was the Vargas one. If y'all didn't see it, hold up. This was the Vargas. No, wait. They just turned it off. Oh, I forgot he fought. Yo, that's crazy. Shout out to Tony. He got the win. I forgot he was on this card, bro. Damn. Hey, shout out to Tone, bro. He got the win in a boxing match. I always thought he had good hands. Yeah, young Star Cloud. I can't believe it either. They fought and actually looked terrible. Yeah, Andrew just lost, bro. He lost the fight. He lost his cardio, right? He lost probably some, mucus vessels from the nose. No. Demoor's nose was the one leaking, right? Andrew Tate had the black eye with the cut on his right eye. And so I think that when you look at it, you see today and yesterday point the biggest problems with this whole YouTuber thing. It's that, boxing cannot be you can't compete at the highest level in boxing without stamina, without the cardio, because this is what ends up happening, right? You could look really good. You could look really good on the bag. You could look really good on the mitts. You could look really good on the speed bag, right? You could even look good in sparring. But if all you have is a round or three in you at your best, and the moment that first quarter of the fight is over with, you are depleted by like 50% or more, then you're not going to be a great fighter. Like if you only have 2 to 3 rounds in you to be a good fighter, and then the rest of the time you're huffing and puffing, just trying to keep your legs up, it ain't going to work. It just ain't going to work. These two knuckleheads can't fight for shit and just wing punches. Yeah, bro. Did you see Demoor? Hey, I'm going to show it real quick. I think I could pull it up real quick. Dude, did you see Demoor throwing that uppy, bro, from like 50 miles away? It was crazy. It was super, super crazy. Let me see. Where is it? Okay, here we go. All right. What the fuck? Okay, I think it'll pull up now. Let me see. I am. Oh, were they? Oh shit! Thank you so much. All right, I'm trying to clip it so that I could just show it to y'all right quick. Cause y'all got to see the uppercut. Like, bro, he was throwing that uppercut from like 6 feet out, bro. Like, no joke. Like, real talk, he was throwing it from. Save video as new clip. Yeah, new clip, bitch. What are you doing? He was throwing it from like 6, 7, 8 feet out, bro. Demoor tried so often to make that uppercut. Yeah, bro, he did. And what was crazy about it is he actually landed it. I'm just waiting for the video to process. I'm gonna show y'all. He actually landed it from so far out, bro. From so Oh, this is the fight from this point of view. All right. I don't think Rumble will trip, right? Hey, shout out to Adrian Champ. Hey, Sonteo Media. What's going on? Boxing Vitals Champ in the building. Hey, the Boxing Maniac Champ. Yo, New York's finest in the building. What's going on to the Maniac? Long time no speak. We got to chop it up soon, Champ. You got to come through on the show. Let's see. Throwing the uppie from that far like shows zero skill. Here's the thing, Matt. You're right, but let me ask you this though. What shows less skill? Throwing that uppie from that far out, right? From that far at the bottom, right? Like overthrowing it, right? To the point where you're so committed you can't even get back. If Tate would have, for just one moment, if his trainer would have just said, look, I need you to take a half step back, shift your weight, and counter that bitch hard. You know, if you could take that angle and throw that Tate overhand that he had, bro, that would have done some damage. But what's more embarrassing? Throwing that uppercut, does that show less skill, or getting hit with that uppercut? Because Tate got hit with that uppercut. Yo, shout out to Matt. Follow Talking About Radio to hear Machine Gun cuss out the CFP committee, OU, A&M, and Tulane, who didn't deserve to go in over Texas. All shit the bed this weekend. That's right. Hey, Matt, you called it too. Bro, I thought A&M never had the chance either, bro. I'm sorry. I just never even thought that their squad, they seem like choke artists. I hate to put it that way, but they just seem like choke artists. Let me see if I can pull it up now. Okay, so for those that did not see it, you know, wait, where are we at? Oh, that looks like shit. Hold on. That's not it either. That's not it either. I guess this one. Okay, yeah. So look, dude, here is Tate at one point, and the problem in the first round was that, I mean, look at this punch. So from like so far out, and it's not his fault. Like Demoor was being like a weirdo this whole time. It's kind of his like little style. It's like that drunken style bullshit. But look how far he is, dude. Look at the distance, bro. You could fit the Big Show in between them right now. I mean, not even close, bro. Not even close. And that's because it wasn't even that badly thrown of a punch. Damn, did he really do worse than Jake? Shout out to Super Mex. And yes, he did, champ. Yes, he did. He looked way worse than Jake, actually. Hey, and by the way, talking about radio, that's my man, Machine Gun Matt. And make sure you go follow him. He's killing it over there on TikTok. He's got all the views over there. All right. He's taking all the views from us. No, I'm playing. Yeah, it was way worse than Jake, champ. It was way worse. And we're gonna see some of this stuff right here. So, number one thing, you know, Tate had the head up for a lot of the fight. Man, my video is so choppy. What's going on? Do you think that ruins Tate's legacy? Okay, I was gonna ask the same question, and shout out to Young Star Cloud. I was gonna ask the same question, right? Obviously, he's not talking about his boxing legacy, right? Because that didn't exist. But his brand specifically, did he risk his brand today? And I think part of the answer is yes. Like he has this no nonsense idea of like, you know, perpetrating manhood, right? And I believe that what Andrew Tate did is, I mean, manly, whatever. It takes balls, bro. You gotta have balls to step in that ring, especially if you don't know what you're doing, especially if you're ill prepared, right? I mean, that doesn't show, a great look on you, but at the end of the day, at least you had the balls to step in there, right? Against a guy that they call a champion, by the way, right? And obviously this dude ain't a real champion, but they called him a champion. He could have ducked this shit. He could have said, nah. He could have said 2-minute rounds. Bro fought 3-minute rounds. So all that credit, you got to kind of give him at least for that. But bro, nobody should have to pay to watch this in a main event, in a boxing match. Nobody should have to pay to watch this. Stab jab to the body, bro. And like that's the thing is there are like markers here where it's like, you know what, dude, if I could show Tate, I mean not me, but if a trainer could show Tate, how to turn his hips a little bit or how to throw the jab, a stepping jab, so that way the guy's covering up as he's closing the distance, that would have been a huge thing. See, look at the way he took that stab jab to the body. Look at the way Tate takes that stab jab to the body. Watch. Look. You see how he takes that foot and now he steps? Watch one more time. Look at his foot. I'm going to show y'all. Look at his foot right here. So he's in no position to hit him right now. Can y'all see my mouse? Whatever. Look at his feet, okay? He's in no position to hit him right here. Now he's going to take the stab jab. Look at how much distance he closes. Look at that. I'm going to show you one time without the mouse so you can see clear. Look at that. Now I'm going to show you one time and I'm going to stop it. Watch right there. Now look where his foot's at, okay? But this is a jab. And where's your hand? If Moore had any idea how to counter this punch, listen to me. If Moore had any idea how to counter this punch, he would have countered it. Look at Tate is wide open for a big right overhand. And by the way, that's on the belt. You're too far, right? Look at the posture. You're bent over. You got to keep that center balance, champ. You got to keep that center gravity, right? You got to keep that center gravity. Draw a line from the top of your head down through your nose, through and cut your ball sack in half. Okay? That is the line that you need to stay true to. This is not staying true. But imagine if this punch that's at his belly right now was at his head. Okay? And those hands that are out trying to keep Tate away from him for whatever reason, instead of using your legs to get away and avoid, that would be up here. His hands would be up here, allowing Tate to set up something that actually would matter, allowing Tate to set up something that had something actually on it. So again, this isn't to say that Andrew Tate almost did good or kind of did good. This is to say that there are markers here that a trainer could work with. I mean, I really want to know who he trained with, bro. I got to know. Look at that. Look at that. Look at the range in this jab that he displays. But look where look where he's at. He's collapsing over. Look at where the head's at. Okay? Chin up, right? And if this guy's first move wasn't always straight back, he'd be in a very, very dangerous position to counter Tate. But look, legs way too far apart. You have nothing to counter it on the back end, right? And I'm kind of just killing time because I want to get to the fourth round and fifth round where he was throwing them uppies, bro. Y'all got to see them uppies. Let's see. Let me get back to some of the chats here. Let me see. Where were we? Matt said, no, he didn't ruin his legacy. He's still very rich and a success. Here's the thing. I wondered why he took this fight, though. And while obviously he's made a shit ton of money, legal problems and good ass, expensive ass lawyers, those cost, So to take this fight, right, especially in this venue, like if he would have gone to like brand risk, right, like the Aiden Ross promotion, he probably could have gotten a soft touch. He could have low broed Aiden Ross into basically getting him anybody, right, to fight. So again, you got to give Tate at least the credit that he wanted a more real fight than what Aiden Ross's promotion offers up. And he also went to 3 minutes, no headgear. The gloves looked, like normal gloves. He took belt to ass. He did take belt to ass, champ. He will try to spin it, but the reps taking a hit. Yeah, I don't see how it can't take a hit because it's that whole alpha male top dog shit. Um, and again, it wasn't even, oh, you lost. There's nothing wrong with losing. I lost my first fight. I mean, it sucks. Don't get me wrong. It really sucks. And you feel like you got to get right back in there. It's probably what like gamblers feel and shit. Like when you got like a real problem, like you just feel like you got to get back in there. And, and so it's like a situation where, you can lose. That's not a big deal. But can you lose and look as silly as you did? You know what I mean? Like it would be like if like I don't know who's like a really cool artist or like a really cool actor or some shit. I don't know. Fuck. Dave Chappelle. I don't think he's cool, but I like him. Like Dave Chappelle like goes and tries to play like tennis and just looks like a fucking buffoon. Well, he's a comedian. Maybe that plays, but y'all get what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying. It's like Patrick Mahomes with his like or Dak with these like high brand like self-awareness GQ type dudes, and then they go out there and look like a fool doing some random shit, and it's like, oh man, he looks stupid, but he's a baller, so you're gonna go out to the football field and impress y'all again, right, or the basketball court or whatever. What will Andrew Tate be able to do to erase this memory from his listeners' minds? What can Andrew Tate accomplish that will make people say, "Oh yeah, forget about that." Well, nobody remembers, right? Like look at Anderson Silva lost to Jake Paul, right? But he's the talk of the town after yesterday. Everybody loved that knockout. Everybody thought he rewound the hands of time a little bit. Yeah, it was on Rumble, champ. It was on Rumble. It was. It feels a little bit like the Tyson fight. Since that fight, I've been less a fan of Tyson. Ooh, good point. Very good point, Young Star Cloud. I am very, very glad you brought that point up because that is a real thing that has happened since that Jake Paul Mike Tyson fight. There has been a narrative online where people seem to have like less respect for Mike, I guess, which I don't get, dude. I mean, first of all, everybody wanted to see him whoop that dude's ass, right? He took the fight. Everybody wanted him to take the fight. I mean, the whole social media world gassed him up to start fighting again. Let's be real. Would he have fought if, 10 million people weren't liking all of his videos and telling him he looked like the old Mike and all that shit? But he lost to Jake. And the visuals make you question anything, everything, right? About him. So it's like very fair to suggest that, and it isn't fair for that to happen, right? Like just to take a loss. But nah, you're right, champ. That's a very good point. Rumble sounds like a gay rave dating site. I was actually thinking about getting on Kick, but I don't know. It don't really make sense to have a Twitch and a Kick, right? Or does it? I thought he was like a kickboxer or some shit. Yeah, Andrew Tate was a kickboxer. I think he do K1? I don't know, but he did kickboxing. I know that for sure. He's got actually really good kicks. He's not bad. Yeah, he was a kickboxer world champion. Shout out to Young Star Cloud. Oh, I didn't know he owns Misfits. Wow, I didn't know that. Yeah, he thought Buddy was easy work. He did. You could tell. But I'll be honest, like looking at him, I thought he was easy work too, and he kind of was. You know what I mean? He clearly had a little more experience than Andrew Tate. That was what happened tonight. Is we saw a slightly less shitty fighter versus a guy that's basically brand new. It's like Donald Trump taking one of the worst stunners of all time. No, it's like when Vince McMahon took the worst stunner of all time and almost tore every quad in his fucking leg. Where can I watch without pain? I think Rumble still. I don't know. You could also just go to wait, where is it? You could also just go to X and put in the search thing, and somebody will have a full video up. I'm sure of it. Like, if not by now, within the next 30 minutes, I'd say. But I'll be honest, yo, I'm gonna say ADA. I'm just gonna say ADA because it's like Ada Pazzi. I don't know. Ada. I'm gonna say Ada. All right, Ada boy. I'm gonna say it. Ada. If you were to watch it, here's the thing. If you were gonna go watch it, I think they should pay you to watch it, champ. All right. You're asking where to watch it without being paid, but I think the question you should be asking is where can you watch it where they'll have to pay you because you should be paid to have to watch this fight. The skill level of the boxing was I would even suggest that it wasn't like equivalent to like high school baseball. Like for somebody who walked into a major league baseball stadium expecting to see major league players and they got high school players, like this is probably more disappointing than that. Nah, champ. I don't know. I don't know where they got it, but it was there for sure. Oh, let me see if I could do the Addy. Let me see. Damn, it's still not up. That's crazy. This is so dumb. Yeah, it's not pulling up. Fuck. Well, I can tell you that if you're gonna watch it for any reason, the reason being like what not to do is pretty high up there. Um, who did better? AJ? The hell no. I think you mean Jake Paul, right? I would definitely say Jake Paul did better than Andrew Tate, but that's like it's not that it's a dumb question or a dumb thing to ask. It's not dumb. It's just that's not really how like it's not like oh who's a better basketball player who has a better arm like asking who did better. You have to also consider styles make fights. You also have to consider the fact that Andrew Tate's never fought boxing. You have to also consider the fact that Jake Paul was super undersized. Like they both had different styles to fight. You know what I mean? And they both had different looks in front of them. So to completely judge it based off of these fights isn't necessarily fair. But that said, no, Jake showed way more ability in his fight than bro. I'll tell you right now, he made Demoor and Tate made Jake Paul look like Usyk. Real talk. He made him look like Usyk. That's how bad it was. But I will say this. I think a lot of people are being a little hard on Jake because you want to talk shit about him because he's not like number one, blah blah. But who the fuck thought he was number one? No, like yeah, he was been saying he's number one, fine. But who actually thought he was number one? Because it wasn't me. I don't know anybody who thought he was actually like everybody knows it's propaganda. Everybody knows when he comes out and he's talking about he's the best fighter, he's fighting the best, blah, blah, blah. Everybody knows that's propaganda. And if you don't, then you're falling for it, right? And you're the one he's trying to fool. Um, But if you don't take him at his word and you assess him through your abilities, you can put a figure on him, right? Like Madden does. Oh, this guy's rated at 86. This guy's rated at 90. This guy's rated at 72, whatever. You could do that with Jake and then from there assess what he's able to do. Look, he only had one shot last night, and that was to use his legs, stick and move. He was never knocking Joshua out. Does Jake have the power to knock out Joshua if Joshua closes his eyes, sticks his chin out, puts his hands behind his back? Yeah, probably. He could at least knock him down. Does Jake have the power and the boxing ability to go out there and find AJ to set up something that puts him down? No, I don't think he did. In fact, we saw Jake land his best punch, that overhand right that he has put many, many people down with. And AJ basically smiled. I mean, I'm not saying he laughed it off. That's not what happened. That's not accurate. But he kind of just smiled it off. I mean, for everybody that was talking shit about AJ last night, like, oh, this was embarrassing. It took you 6 rounds, blah, blah. Like, first of all, my man wanted a tune-up, right? He told Eddie. So there was always a chance he was at least going to get a few rounds in. That's first of all, right? Second of all, like, nobody said that AJ had to knock him out in the first round, right? He had to knock him out. That's what had to happen, right? Just because AJ represents a much greater discrepancy in ability, right? Just because he's the far better fighter doesn't mean the fight script is supposed to go one way or the other, right? It's like saying, oh, I played LeBron James at one-on-one basketball and I lost like 15-2 or whatever, right? And that's not a good analogy. What's a better one? I don't know. I mean, the only analogies I really have are actually like sports ones, right? Like when Floyd went to go fight Cotto, or when Cotto went to fight Floyd, right? Or Marquez, when Marquez went to fight Floyd, that was supposed to be at lightweight. Floyd missed the weight, paid Marquez to change the contract so they could fight up in weight, right? And when Marquez went into the ring that night with him, he had nothing to lose. He was fighting a welterweight, two divisions above where he'd been fighting, right? So it was a win-win situation for him. I mean, if he lost, nobody was going to really hold it against him. Same situation with Kell Brook and Triple G when they fought. Remember, Triple G, was way bigger. Kell Brook had been fighting at welterweight. He came up, and it was a win-win situation, or a situation where he really couldn't lose. Same thing when Canelo fought. Was it Josecito? No, who was it? I forgot. But it's like the shot's worth it, right? I don't think the shots are worth it anymore, though, right? Because Jake exposed himself in a much different way last night. And he may have exposed the business of YouTube boxing altogether. Casual fans watch not knowing that these guys they're watching are missing a huge element, a huge, not a skill level, but a huge proponent of top boxers, and that's the stamina. That's the lungs. Yo, shout out to the chocolate brownie special K. Oh, champ, for real. Let me see. I think I actually have that on. Let me see. Oh, shout out to Matt. Appreciate you, champ. I appreciate your list. I am covering, just so everybody knows, I am covering tonight's AAA Lucha Libre event on the WWE YouTube channel. It's going to be Dominic Mysterio and El Grande Americano versus the legend, the Lucha legend, Rey Mysterio Jr., with the future potential Lucha legend in Rey Fenix. That's going to be a banger tag team match. But the match that I'm really looking forward to is Javon Edwards, Cartwheel, and Laredo Kid in a triple threat match for the Cruiserweight AAA Championship. Cannot wait. That's going to be a banger match. I got y'all covered on the recap. You can go to fightsatw.com where yours truly writes for what I believe is the best pound for pound writing staff in combat sports today. Do you like boxing? Do you like wrestling? Do you like combat sports? Do you sometimes bet on them? Well, then go to fightsatw.com, bookmark it. I promise you it is one of the best websites for news, stories, and things that aren't, covered everywhere else because, it's boxing and wrestling and MMA. And most of the time, everybody has the same story. We all do, right? So right now, though, I am going to cover the show tonight for Fights ATW. Tapping in for that. And then on Monday, we are going to start our series of awards. We're going to do boxing, MMA, and wrestling. I am currently working on my article for fightsatw.com, a panel of journalists, commentators, videographers, and content creators of all kind are getting together. It's an anonymous panel. We're going to vote. We're going to have a system. It's going to be a point system, and I will configure it all and then present it. But starting Monday, we're going to be doing awards and chopping it all up, looking back at all of the big things that took place this year, whether it be round of the year or stoppage of the year or what else? Upset of the year. We're going to look at the Ryan Garcia Rolly fight again. We're going to do a lot of watch alongs. I told everybody last night, I'm going to keep reminding y'all, we're not going anywhere for the holidays. I know a lot of you are not with family. A lot of people in my community are, either at school or they're, in work, offshore drilling, oil rigs. Like, a lot of people that are in the community are also in the military. And so, a lot of you aren't with your family this holidays, but that's okay because over here we are tapped in, we're locked in. If you're a fan of combat sports, then you join this community and we will rock out for the holidays. No time off over here, champ. We're staying live. We're staying live Monday through Thursday. We will be live all next week. All right. Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, all of them. And like I said, I have a lot of fun games planned, watch along. So make sure you subscribe, make sure you tap the like, make sure you hit the follow on whatever platform you're watching, whether it be Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, X, IG, or TikTok. And hey, if you've already followed or subbed to one of those, why don't you go to one of the other ones and hit the follow, hit the sub? That would really greatly help out. Who won the fight? Oh, man, Andrew Tate did not win. He did get one of the judges to give him a draw. It was a majority decision for Demoor. He won. But did my GOAT Andrew win? No, champ. Unfortunately, what happened was he did better in the first half. I'll say that for him. He did gas. I think that there is a possibility, had he been more prepared stamina wise, he could have, he could have won a decision, I think. I just don't think he had the stamina to present the same kind of fight in the first 3 rounds that he did in the last 3. But, it happens. It's boxing. I want to thank everybody that tapped in. I want to thank everybody that was in the chat. Shout out to Machine Gun Matt, Super Mech. Shout out to Yango7 Champ. Hit the sub, hit the like, hit the follow. Shout out to Young Star Cloud Champ. Appreciate you tapping in. Come back and kick it with us, man. You had a lot of good points today. Who else was in the chat? Vidal. Appreciate Vidal. And who else was there? Ray. Appreciate Ray. Pierce in the chat. Everybody on IG. Hey, Barbie. Appreciate you tapping in. Fighter IQ Media. Isn't that Ron? No. Fighter IQ. Who is that? Is that Ron? I forgot. That's somebody. Gina. Hey, what's up? Appreciate you tapping in too. And I already gave this shout out to Boxing Vitals and the Boxing Mania. And Sonteo Media, bro. You are the champ. Appreciate you tapping in every single time. Guys, we're going to be live on Monday. All right, talking about everything that went down in boxing, wrestling, MMA. You got the PFL. I think their last one is next week. And then the World's in is next week as well. And that's about it. Other than the award shows and stuff, we're getting ready for the January 5th show on Raw. Will Braun Breaker beat CM Punk and win his first heavyweight title? I think so. In fact, I'm going to put all my chips into that pick. I think he wins, and I think he takes that title to Mania. But we'll see. We'll see on the 5th. Again, everybody, Infighting FX, Infighting Exchange, spelled Infighting FX. On all platforms, IG, Twitch, X, YouTube, Facebook, and TikTok. And did Jalen Hurts get hurt? Oh, no, he's in the red zone. I don't give a shit. My fantasy year is over. I don't give a fuck. All right. Until Monday. Appreciate everybody tapping in. If you didn't hit that like, if you didn't hit that sub, if you didn't hit that follow, do it now. We're here Monday through Thursday. We will be live during the holidays, as I said. And stay a member of the community. We are tapped in, locked in at all times. And so for everybody that was tapped in, I appreciate it. Until Monday, peace.